Welcome to the Samurai Channel. We are all students who have been active for the past 3 years through social networking, street speeches, and signature campaigns. The channel is made up of teenagers and is made up of culturally diverse high school students, including Japanese, half European, and those who have studied abroad. The corruption of politicians in Japan today is glaringly obvious. The adults need to wake up and express their opinions clearly. But even if they realize, more than 70 years of misguided history may prevent decisive action. It is we, the youth, who are in this predicament. That is why we must learn together, speak out and take action, remember who is telling lies, remember why is false history being taught, remember who are the traitors. Remember understand what individuals and nations have done to our country. Let us know if there are any mistakes. We are ordinary high school students, but our leaders have been aware of Japan's shadow since junior high school and have taken action. Mission: Let's protect Japan. Let's be proud of Japan. Support us. Arigatou gozaimasu. Here are the topics we chose this week. Number 1, meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi. On October 28, 2025, in Tokyo, U.S. President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi held their first meeting. Both leaders pledged to strengthen the Japan-U.S. alliance and signed a document to build a new golden era. Takaichi praised Trump's diplomatic efforts and nominated him for the Nobel Peace Prize. Trump, in turn, hailed Takaichi as the best prime minister and presented her with a golf cap, creating a warm atmosphere. Afterward, they visited the U.S. military base in Yokosuka, emphasizing defense cooperation. Japan's expanded investment in the U.S. was also confirmed, marking significant progress in building trust. However, the $8 billion investment burden on Japan and the presence of over 100 U.S. military bases may seem unusual to foreigners. If true friendship is to be claimed, President Trump should visit Yasukuni Shrine to honor the war dead, which would be a step toward deepening genuine Japan-U.S. ties. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, and MacArthur stated that Japan's war was for self-defense. What does true friendship mean? Number 2, issues with Chinese-made EV buses and Prime Minister Takaichi's decisiveness. In October 2025, the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport, and Tourism conducted a full inspection of Chinese-made EV buses sold by EV Motors Japan. Of the 317 units, 113, 35%, were found to have defects like brake hose damage, with suspicions of cover-ups. The ministry carried out surprise on-site inspections, leading Osaka Metro and others to suspend operations. This swift response demonstrated a commitment to public safety and is worthy of trust. Number 3, opposition to free high school tuition. The reality of opposition to free high school tuition and the public's wishes, while touted as promoting equal educational opportunities, it has serious drawbacks. Economic surveys show over 70% opposition, citing increased fiscal burden and widening disparities. In Osaka, the impact of private school tuition waivers has accelerated public high school enrollment declines, with up to 9 schools, including Izumita Tori High School, slated for closure by 2025. Due to a 3-year consecutive under-enrollment ordinance, safety net schools are disappearing, creating educational voids in regions. This increases tax pressure, pushing ordinary citizens to their limits. Prime Minister Takaichi's proactive fiscal policy is an opportunity to correct these distortions. By accepting foreign investment, abolishing the consumption tax, and reducing parliamentary salaries to honorary levels, slightly above ordinary citizens, true educational reform can advance. Policies prioritizing the lives of the people are hoped for to regenerate Japan. Number 4. Self-Defense Forces Day, 71 years of contribution and growing public gratitude. This year's Self-Defense Forces Day marks its 71st anniversary. Since its establishment in 1954, the SDF has made significant contributions to disaster relief and peacekeeping both domestically and internationally, saving countless lives during earthquakes and typhoons, for example. Public gratitude is widespread, with thanks expressed on social media and at events, and phrases like, "We couldn't do without the SDF," are common. Commemorative events, such as the Aviation Review, are lively with families, nurturing future SDF members. Let's continue to support the SDF's efforts to protect a peaceful Japan. Number 5. Nationwide opposition to Islamic mosques, protests. Large mosque plan in Fujisawa City faces over 20,000 opposition signatures. In the Miyahara district of Fujisawa City, Kanagawa Prefecture, plans for a large Islamic mosque are underway. The two-story facility, with a plot area of about 463 tsubo, is scheduled for completion in 2028. The plan proceeded without resident briefings, sparking concerns about worsening security, cultural friction, and increased tax burdens nationwide. There are already about 150 mosques in Japan. Opponents cite rising crime rates in Europe and raise concerns about children's safety. Meanwhile, city council members promise to respect freedom of religion while conducting investigations. The unity of residents in reconsidering the plan is noteworthy. It's unreasonable to have halal, Islamic pork-free options in school lunches or to establish places of worship. What do you think? Number 6. Second no-confidence vote against Ito City Mayor. Is it discrimination? In Ito City, Shizuoka Prefecture, a second no-confidence motion against Mayor Maki Takubo was passed by the City Council. The debate stemmed from past statements about her academic background, but the mayor has consistently pushed for municipal transparency and reform. It's unfair to ignore similar issues like Tokyo Governor Koike's academic fraud or the Koizumi camp's astroturfing. Isn't it discrimination? The Hyakujo Committee investigation pointed out discrepancies in testimony, but the mayor explained them as unintentional memory errors. Amid calls for swift action, she chose to dissolve the council within 11 days, seeking the public's trust. This will lead to a municipal election within 40 days, marking a new start for re-election. Since taking office, Mayor Takubo has focused on tourism promotion and regional revitalization, achieving results in improving citizens' lives. Many view this controversy as resistance to reform, and on social media, support like, "I believe in the mayor's vision," and "a brave decision to seek public opinion through dissolution," is growing. There are also moves for criminal charges, but the mayor emphasizes, "I will calmly verify the facts and protect Ito's future." The unity of citizens will likely support her strong leadership. We hope for better municipal governance through democratic processes. Number 7. Supporters of selective marital surnames. Those who support selective marital surnames share interesting commonalities. Supporters tend to favor foreign suffrage, strongly oppose disclosing naturalization status in family registers, and resist spy prevention laws. This stance often leads to criticism that they are pretending to be Japanese. The family register is Japan's pride and a system that cannot be traced back or even exists in many other countries. It is a precious cultural asset that proves individual origins and family connections and should not be easily altered. People advocating for selective marital surnames seem to undervalue the importance of the family register, prioritizing foreign values, which poses a risk to Japan's identity. Opponents are wary of this movement to protect tradition and national pride. Considering the inheritance to future generations, isn't it essential to preserve the family register? Number 8. Abolition of the Foreign Technical Intern Program. 3 foreigners break into a home in Oyama City, Tachijai. Opposition to immigration and Islamic mosques grows. Recently, calls for abolishing the Foreign Technical Intern Program have intensified. This follows an incident on November 4 in Oyama City, Tachijai Prefecture, where a group of 3 foreigners broke into a home and assaulted a resident. The report of this event heightened anxiety about immigration and foreign workers, rapidly increasing opposition. Particularly, opposition to the construction of Islamic mosques is prominent, reigniting resident concerns reminiscent of the 2006 Fukuoka mosque issue. The Justice Ministry's council proposed abolishing the intern program and establishing a new worker system in 2023, but opposition to immigration remains strong, with voices emphasizing cultural identity and security. Online, opinions like "Japan is for the Japanese" are prevalent, accelerating calls to reconsider immigration policies. In this situation, further discussion is needed to protect community safety and traditions. Number 9. Mechanism to deny residence status updates for foreigners with unpaid insurance premiums. Starting in June 2027, the government will introduce a system that generally denies residence status updates or changes for foreigners who fail to pay national health insurance or national pension premiums despite reminders. Health, Labor and Welfare Minister Weno announced this at a press conference on November 4. The background is the low payment rate of about 63% among foreigners as of the end of last year, aiming to promote proper use of social security systems. The Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare will share information with the Immigration Services Agency reflecting non-payment in residence reviews. They will also collect unpaid medical fee information for use in long-term residence reviews. This aims to realize an orderly coexisting society where Japanese and foreigners respect each other. However, isn't 2027 too late? Why should taxpayers cover the shortfall when nearly half of foreigners casually default on premiums? Japan's laws seem full of loopholes for foreigners. Number 10. Japan's national anthem, Kimigeo, ranks number 1 in the world again. Finally, some good news. On November 5, the popular X account, World of Statistics, posted the top 20 world national anthems ranking, where Japan's Kimigeo proudly took first place. Russia came in second, the US third, with France and India also ranking high, but Kimigeo was acclaimed as the most beautiful national anthem worldwide for its brevity and poetic elegance. It stirred national pride among Japanese, with comments like peaceful and heartwarming, and its historical depth is magnificent. The lyrics, originating from a Heian period love song, and its serene, non-combative content were praised by overseas users as like a quiet, beautiful hymn. In fact, Kimigeo previously achieved the same glory, being selected as the world's best national anthem by the blog Japangasm in 2011, lauded for evoking deep patriotism. As a Japanese, I want to sing the national anthem with pride. This week's This is the Textbook. The movement toward the Meiji Restoration began in Okinawa.
This week's Can You Shut Up Please? Recipients of the Order of the Rising Sun. Grand Cardon in the 2025 Autumn Honors include Heizo Takenaka and others. How can such a cruel thing be allowed? I heard that in the 2025 Autumn Honors, Heizo Takenaka and others were awarded the Order of the Rising Sun, Grand Cardon, and I cannot contain my rage. This medal brings back memories of when former Prime Minister Shinjiro Koizumi's grandfather, Matajiro Koizumi, recommended the commander responsible for the Tokyo air raids that killed 100,000 people, and the same honor was bestowed upon him. I cannot believe such brutality is tolerated. Takenaka is the very person who inflicted suffering on countless citizens through neoliberal policies and widened inequality. For him to be adorned with such an honor defies all reason. Moreover, isn't there something deeply wrong with this honor system that whitewashes wartime crimes? It has also already been exposed that both the Koizumi family and Takenaka are originally Korean, and that Takenaka's real name is Lee, Pyongyang. Shouldn't both of their medals be immediately revoked? This act, ignoring the voices of the people and glorifying past sins and present injustices, is unforgivable. The government should shut up, and it should seriously reconsider this and apologize to the nation. This week's Can You Shut Up Please?
This week's This is the Textbook. This week, we'd like to summarize and introduce a passage from page 20 of Professor Satoru Nakamura's The Truth About Okinawa. We highly encourage you to read it. The movement toward the Meiji Restoration began in Okinawa. Textbooks typically describe the Meiji Restoration as beginning with the arrival of Commodore Perry's black ships in 1853 and ending with the Seinan War in 1877, followed by the Ryukyu Disposition, the establishment of Okinawa Prefecture. This historical narrative has fueled claims that Okinawa is a victim of Japan, and that the people of Ryukyu/Okinawa are Japan's indigenous population. However, there is a perspective that the Meiji Restoration actually began in Okinawa, a strategically vital location for national defense. The Satsuma samurai first became alarmed by the threat of Western powers when news reached them in 1842 that Qing China had been defeated by Britain in the Opium War. This threat became tangible in 1844 when the French warship Alcmene arrived in Ryukyu and forcefully demanded the opening of its ports. At the time, under the Treaty of Nanking, 5 Chinese ports, Shanghai, Ningbo, Fuzhou, Xiamen, and Guangzhou, had been opened to Western powers. Positioned along the route from these ports to mainland Japan, Ryukyu was ideally suited as a staging point for opening Japan, which explains why Western ships began appearing there one after another. From this, it is clear that Japan's sense of crisis regarding national defense and the pressure to open the country emerged earlier in Okinawa than with the arrival of the black ships. Let's take action this week. This week's Let's Take Action is Taxes Are for the Citizens. Let me talk about the public Japanese language school, Osaki Japanese Language School, which opened in Osaki City, Miyagi Prefecture. The school began classes in April 2025 and, as the second such public facility in Japan, has welcomed 28 international students from countries like Vietnam and Indonesia. Housed in a renovated former elementary school building, it uses tax money to provide Japanese language education as a measure to combat the region's declining population. However, anti-immigration demonstrations have been breaking out across the country. For example, since August, protests in Tokyo and Osaka against JICA's Africa Hometown Project have spread, with chants of "use tax money for Japanese people" and "don't increase immigration." A Change.org petition has gathered over 27,000 signatures. Similar demonstrations have also taken place in Fukuoka and Tochigi. To protect the lives of us Japanese citizens, we want to continue raising our voices questioning the necessity of accepting foreigners and calling for the effective use of tax money. We believe such discussions can serve as an opportunity to think about the future of our regions. Thank you for watching Samurai Channel Report this week.